So the new Audi SQ9 and Audi Q9 have finally been revealed to us. We spent the last few months covering these cars before they came out with a couple videos speculating what we would see, but now we've got the full Audi SQ9 and Q9, so we're going to take a look at the final features and numbers and everything you need to know about these cars. So let's jump into all the facts and figures and everything you need to know about the cars, and then I will tell you my personal opinions on it and how I think they stack up to the competition like the Mercedes GLS and the BMW X7. If you did not know these cars were coming and you were surprised when they were released, please subscribe for me, like the video, and make sure you never miss any upcoming car news before they come out, because I cover stuff like this all the time on my channel, including another new Audi SUV that's coming out very soon with an RS badge on it, so stay tuned for that. So let's start taking a look at the Audi SQ9. Now we've got it here in this nice desert backdrop. I will comment on some of the locations and colors Audi chose to reveal these cars after we get through the facts and figures, but I think it's interesting what they chose, but we'll put that off for now. Let's talk about the facts and figures. So this is Audi's first ever full-size SUV, the new flagship of the brand, competing with the likes of the Mercedes GLS and BMW X7. The cars are available as a 6 or 7-seater configuration. The cars do have a rear bias quattro system still with an electronic slip differential. So, and the SQ9 is even more rear bias than the Q9 if you were wondering. The digital matrix LED headlights are available in North America for the first time, other than on the new SQ7, which just came out a couple weeks ago if you haven't seen that yet. The engine comes straight out of the RS-Q8, which is great. So we've got that same 591 horsepower V8 in the SQ9. The Q9 has a 429 horsepower V6, which is very similar to the one you would find in the likes of the Audi RS5. They released both cars at the same time, which Audi doesn't always do. For example, we got the new A6 over a year ago now, and we're still without an S6 or an RS6. So that's a little frustrating, but it's good we got the SQ9 and the Q9 at the same time, so we don't have to wait for anything. There is one more trim of the Q9 I expect to be released, but it's more of like a Maybach level trim. We can talk about that later in the video as well. That's not released yet, but for now we've got the Q9 and the SQ9 at the same time. You can go up to 23-inch wheels. It's the quickest accelerating car in its class, which is good. Has the world's first curved digital OLED taillights. The taillights are pretty impressive, as are the headlights on this car. The blinkers literally illuminate onto the ground. I'll show a picture of that in a little bit here. That's pretty cool. Cars don't really do that, so that's exciting to see. And there's also an illuminated grille and logos and everything, which Mercedes and BMW have been doing for a couple years now, so Audi just joined the bandwagon on that one. The SQ9 does 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, which it'll probably be a little faster than that, probably closer to 3.5, and it can tow up to 7,700 pounds, which is pretty dang impressive. The Audi Q9 will start at $89,000, and the SQ9 is a big jump, starting at $119,395, which is about 10 grand more than what the SQ7 starts at, so the price kind of makes sense, but it is a 30 grand jump from the Q9 to the SQ9. You are getting a twin-turbo V8 instead of a twin-turbo V6, but it is still a big price jump. So that's everything you need to know about the facts and figures. Let's start getting into more of the actual, subjective looks of this car and what I think of it. I do like what's on the screen right now, that wireless charger that holds your phone in place, because that's so annoying in cars when your phone goes flying around. And I think that kind of really shows as a good example of what these cars have on the interior, because they've got a lot of great features. For example, the doors will close when you put your foot on the brake, and there's buttons to close all the other doors of the car. The ambient lighting is really good in the sunroof. You can actually see it at the top of the screen right now. The sunroof still opens, even though it's the largest panoramic roof Audi's ever done, which a lot of cars can't say the same at this price point. Even cars triple this price, like an Aston Martin DBX, for some reason you can't open the sunroof, just a big piece of glass. The infotainment is one thing I'm still not crazy about in this car. I just think it looks very plain. It doesn't look like it's in an Audi. Like if you told me this was in a Hyundai, I'd believe you. So I don't love that. You do have a passenger display off to the right side of the screen here, so passengers can have their own displays now. I guess that's trickling down from supercars into regular cars. The seats do look really good in this car, and these are the the SQ9 seats right here, the S-line seats, but the regular Q9 appears to have these seats as well, which is a question I raised in my previous videos, because we hadn't seen a Q9 seat that doesn't look like that. So the SQ9, it looks great. Here's some beauty shots of the SQ9 before we start looking at pictures of the Q9. I just think it's strange the color scheme they went with. They chose a gray car, and they're launching it against like a gray building in the background right now. I just feel like they went with like a very bland, like even this one, yeah, it's outside, but like the sky is kind of dull bluish gray, the car is dull gray. I feel like they could have went with really any other color to launch the car with, not something ridiculous like a yellow or something, but this gray is such an understated color. Even a black would have looked sharper. So I thought that was a strange choice, but the SQ9 really is good looking from the outside. It is very BMW X7 to me, and a little bit of the GLS roofline, which isn't a bad thing because those are both two really good looking cars. And this is, of course, Audi's competitor to those, but I do feel like it kind of took a lot of design cues from both. The lights are really impressive on this car. I believe the front lights are capable of projecting a movie onto a wall. I don't know if Audi leaves that unlocked for you in the system, but I'm pretty sure it can be achieved. The tail lights look really good, and they can do a lot of cool, things when like your blinkers are running and everything like that. And the signals being projected onto the ground, kind of a gimmick, but it's cool. Also, it might actually help in real life. At night, maybe somebody does notice you're taking a left and they see that ahead of time. The Q9, much better color, I would say. So here's our first look at the Q9 in this video. But like, why is there a couch in the room? It just seems so out of place to me. It's just like, why is there a fake marble wall and a couch next to a Q9? It seems like a weird setting again. But the car itself looks really good. The Q9 actually doesn't look too bad compared to the SQ9. Usually there's like a decent grille upgrade or something like that to the SQ9, but this one, it's got its own signature. It looks okay. Q9's a sharp looking car too, and I mean, honestly, compared to a V6 X7, I think this is a better looking car. I think an argument can be made for the Mercedes to be better looking as well, but honestly, the Audi, I always like how Audis look. I'm more of a, if you don't know, I have an Audi S6, so I love Audi, S, RS cars and everything like that, so I do like what they did here. My only gripes with the car are really on the interior. I just do not love that new steering wheel. The screen and the display just take me right out of it because it doesn't look like it's in an Audi, and it kind of sits too high if you ask me. Like if you've sat in any of their newer cars with this new large dashboard, it sits too high. So that's my big gripes. Exterior, I think, looks really good, and you got to give them credit for putting the RS-Q8 engine into this. I mean, the car's going to fly. It's a big car, but it's got big power to go with it, and it does look really good, at least from the outside. I think it's a good-looking car. It is a little bit Hyundai-esque, like of their largest SUV. It does kind of look like it, and I have seen that online, and I don't completely disagree, but a lot of these cars look alike now. This does look like an X7 and a GLS also, so you can't say it just looks like the Hyundai. A lot of cars just look like each other at this point, especially considering Kia and Hyundai hired a lot of Audi's designers to come make their current cars, so that's kind of where the similarities are coming in. But yeah, this Q9 really is sharp looking, and this one still has 430 horsepower, so it's still, no slouch by any means. I'd go SQ9 for sure. Here's the example of the blinkers on the ground, so you can see it. The new SQ7 did come out as well recently. I do wonder if this car is going to step on the toes of that a bit and maybe cause the SQ7s to not be as valuable and, depreciate even quicker going forward. The outgoing ones haven't exactly held their value very well either. Oh, just quickly, I want to touch on this. You can see the Audi and the Q9 logo like embossed into the door. Audi also did this on their recent new Volare supercar, so this is nice to see it on a standard Q9 as well, and I'm sure the SQ9 says it too. I believe they started doing this last year, so it's not completely unheard of, but it's a nice touch. The Q9 has a regular circle steering wheel, you'll notice, which honestly might be better than a double flat on the top and bottom that you're seeing in all of their S and RS products recently. Audi, if you're listening, please go back to just a flat steering wheel on the bottom and the rounded on the top, because this double flat one just doesn't work. I do think it's interesting seeing the Q9 here with a tan interior instead of the white. I prefer the white on the SQ9 for sure, but the tan does give you a little different vibe of what the interior is going on with. Honestly, the door cards here, I'll show them in a moment, they kind of remind me of like something you'd see in Dune, just because of the color they went with here, this like taupe sand beige color. Very interesting stuff. You'll notice the LEDs in the sunroof right now are also kind of a tan color to match the Q9's theme that it's got going on here. Little LEDs in the seat backs there as well. I'm sure these seats are heated, cooled, and massaging. They're going to be great. Audi always does great seats when they're shaped like the sport bucket one. Even the wood veneer here kind of looks like it could be in like a Dune movie. So interesting spec they went with this in this Q9. You can see the heated steering wheel option and the programmable button option, which is good because previous Audi steering wheels didn't always have that. Here's that door card I mentioned before. This could actually look really good depending on what color backlighting you did here. Like if you went with maybe an orange or a yellow right here, I think it could make the door look pretty crazy. But I think you'd be better off with either like a red, a black, or a white interior, kind of like we saw on the SQ9. This tan is good for a Q9, I think, but on an SQ9, it'd have to be spec'd very specifically to make this work. But those back seats look great. This looks like it's a 6-seater layout, so there must be a bench seat available for the third row instead of the captain's chairs, but they haven't actually shown that yet. So captain's chairs only for now, but I think these look better anyways. You can see the cup holders in between the passengers back there. I bet that's gone on a bench seat layout as well, because the passenger needs to put their feet somewhere if there's a middle seat, of course. But it looks like the rear seats have their own climate control as well. Let's just start to talk quickly about how this stacks up to the GLS and the X7 while we're going through more shots of the Q9 here. I think the GLS 63 with the full V8 is still probably a more intense car. I know Audi says this will be faster, but it is slightly down in power, and I think it's up in weight a little bit. So I have a hard time believing it's faster without seeing a little more info, but also Audi's cars have been fast lately, especially like the RS7 Performance. It kind of smoked like a GT63S without the hybrid system and an M5. So Audi does know how to make fast cars, and they've been showing it lately. So this could be another example of that. The X7 is a great riding car, and the platform is shared with the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, so it's hard to discount that car in any way. The GLS 63 is a really fun car to drive, even though it's that big, and it's got a lot of nice features as well, so they all do stack up really well. I think this is a car a lot of people are going to buy because it's new. No one really has one yet. Audi make great cars. Maybe people want to get out of their GLS or out of their X7 into something different that no one else really has yet. I think people will buy this car. I think it'll be one of their best-selling cars, especially here in the United States. So I can't say it's not going to sell well or anything like that. I like the car a lot. If I wanted a full-size SUV like this, I think I'd be between this and the GLS, just because I tend to like Audi and Mercedes over BMW typically. But I do like the X7 a lot. It's one of my higher-up BMWs that I like. So it's a very tough class. I think Audi, I can't believe they haven't been in this market sooner, and I'm glad they're finally getting into it, and I think they really came in with a good option to do it. It's funny they're even showing this blue car now against the same gray backgrounds the other SQ7 was in front of, and you can just tell the blue contrasts better, and it's a dark blue. It's not even like a brighter color, so still don't understand the backgrounds they chose here, but I love Audi. I'm glad they made this car. I think a lot of the things we've looked at the past few months have been very accurate. I mean, the powertrain I predicted, twin-turbo V8 near 600 horsepower, just like an RSQ8, spot on the dot, 591 horsepower, V8 straight out of the RSQ8. I think I also predicted the V6 option for the Q9 was going to be like the RS5 engine, so spot on again. And I am expecting a Horch, it's going to be called Q9 Horch, to compete with the Maybach GLS to come out probably in about a year from now. So that's everything about the new Q9 and SQ9 that you need. Please like and subscribe and turn notifications on for me if you haven't already, so you can see all the videos I do like this. And I hope to see you guys in a future Exotics Anonymous video.